they can insert power through BlackRock by being hand in hand with BlackRock, and then be like, we're not doing anything. It's not our way of operating because we don't own anything. But they're listed everywhere, so they do have influence, whether you guys want to admit it or not. Okay? They do have influence, and they can influence through BlackRock.
No.
Is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies, we're banking fatties. Hail, the gang's all here. Great weekend with my good friend Howie, Dewey, bump, Howie, Dewey, and then on the ones and twos, with a what is that color? Peanut butter? What is that color? A Braves hat. What is that? What color is that?
What would you say? I would say that is like mulatto.
Mulatto.
It looks like a shit brown with.
Yeah, that is a shit brown. That's a weird hat to get. Johnny Woodard and Carl.
He's busy at work as always. Look,
Carl never stops working, dude. What do you have, blackmail on that guy? He's just always going.
24/7.
He works in AI.
He just
there's
always,
so much business.
Always has it going. Guys, how's your week?
Good, man. You had some action up in Buffalo. Sam Tripoli had a great show. Crowds were awesome. Fucking love those crowds, man.
Thank you, buddy. I love you too. You're a great guy. I love gigging with Howie Dewey. He's a class act. My brother thinks you're hilarious.
Brother's fucking hilarious, boy.
My brother is hilarious.
And the funny thing is, your brother, I'm basically, when I left, I'm like, look, make sure you tell this guy said hi, tell this guy said, all my old buddies still live in Cortland. It's awesome.
Yeah. My brother is the metrosexual version of me. Just prim proper, earrings in, shredded.
Was that him that had the Panthers shirt on? Who was that? I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Nice. What's he doing wearing a Panthers outfit? What's that about?
He's a huge Baker Mayfield fan.
Oh, sorry.
It's so weird. He's there for a week, you know.
Some girl came up to his brother and said, Is that Sam? And Sam looked at me. He's like, yeah, I'm Sam. If I did coke for a month straight. I mean, they look kind of alike. He's got this like trim.
Yeah, my brother's he's a good-looking guy. He just looks good. Trim. I'm convinced he dyes his hair. He says he doesn't.
I don't think he does, man. He's not that
he's got no gray. That's how much he is a genetically superior version of me.
He's younger than you, though, right?
Yeah, but he's always been like
How much younger?
2.5 years.
Oh, not much. Okay.
So he's always done that. He's always been good worker guy. So, anyways, had a great weekend. How was your weekend, Johnny?
Oh, I can't complain. I went to San Francisco to watch the Braves play, and I didn't realize how that the sun also works in San Francisco, so it's hard to tell with the color correction on this camera, but my arm is just on fire. It's all red here.
Oh, really?
Isn't that funny how that corrects that out? Like, if I look at it here, it's just bright red, but anyway, I got burned really badly, but the Braves beat the shit out of the Giants, so it was great.
I watched the game where the Giants won.
Well, you watched the last game. You did not watch the first two games where they won like by combined.
They ran train on them.
Yeah, it was pretty
great.
So ask Johnny about San Fran because you see it in the news. Let's be honest, like Johnny, you were there,
dude. I will be honest with you, and I stayed downtown, and I asked the people that I know who live there. I said, "Is this a safe walk to the park?" And they were like, "I wouldn't do it." I walked to the park and back twice, both games, no problem at all. I saw 2 homeless people the whole fucking time, and I was supposed to be in what is like the shithole area, downtown where it's supposedly gone to shit. I thought it looked fantastic, and the whole thing was overblown, if I'm being honest. I didn't smell any human feces.
That seems to be the common theme that, even New York, like if you talk to the locals, they're still like we said before on that place where Howie did a gig with us, the cutting room, the owner was like, New York's going to crap. But then when you're in New York, it seems like it's fun and it's great. You go to San Francisco, it's chaos. When I went to Portland, it's chaos. All that stuff.
Now, I will say I had been in Oakland. The first night I was there because I went to Berkeley to see Weezer. I stayed in Oakland on that side of the bay the first night, and like within 5 minutes, my citizen was like dinging with like carjackings and muggings and stuff. I swear, within the first 5 minutes, I got two like right back to back. Somebody got carjacked at CVS, and then there was a mugging within like a block.
So you're saying that basically
that's Oakland. That's Oakland.
Yeah. You're saying that Oakland is a free range escape room. Is that what it is? It's just a giant free range escape room where you just get scared everywhere you go as you try to get out.
Yeah.
And the worst part is Oakland was way worse in the 70s and 80s.
That's what I've heard
gives me hope
crazy stuff about Oakland.
When you hear people talk about San Francisco, they're like, in the 80s, it was this bad. So this seems to be the cycle. Once you get like 40 years out, everyone forgets what it was. And then they're like, we need more progressive policies. You're like, the old people are like, no, we did that before. Shut up, grandpa. And slurp your pea soup. Right. So nobody cares.
Yeah. You're totally right, Sam. And then the Law and Order candidates come back when everything goes to shit. And you get the cycle. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah.
This is a cycle. What's going on? Go on, Howie.
Sam said it because, I'm in New York and everything I read and hear on podcasts and, about San Francisco is you can't go there, man. It's a war zone. I'll tell you, I don't believe anything anymore unless I'm there. Unless I see shit with my own eyes.
I agree, dude.
Going on. I don't believe it, man, because I'll have friends call me from Colorado, or I got a buddy in Idaho. It's like, yo, man, did you see what happened in New York yesterday? I'm like, no, tell me. And he'll tell me, and I live here, and I didn't even hear about it. I'm like, I must have missed it, man.
Here's what social media does. It makes isolated incidents seem like the standard.
Yes. You just said it. That's exactly
it's like, dude, in the 40s, if a guy got stabbed in Kansas City, you would never hear about it in Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because of social media, now everybody in Fort Lauderdale thinks because somebody got stabbed in Cincinnati that now they might get stabbed in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
right.
And we've all turned into grandmas, dude. Like, because my grandma used to be that way before she died. She would read stuff in the newspaper and be like, "Watch out if you go into Walmart," And it's, dude, we've all become that way now. We're all just, oh, what's going on?
100%. 100%.
They have the closing section. The Mexicans will get you.
All right, so Howie, let's get into some stuff. BRICS had a big meeting. They're bringing in more people. So
good. I don't think the
so one thing they said, I think this is that BRICS now has like 40% of the oil production in the world and like 80% of the population.
Yeah, well, they can have a population.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Give them that. And you're right, man. Like, they're bringing in Saudi Arabia. But listen, if you read that thing, number one, nobody showed up to that meeting.
Look like a lot of people, buddy.
Well, what do you mean nobody? I mean, it's just like a kind of a commission, right? Like a board. How many? What do you mean, like nobody showed up? Like people didn't show up who were supposed to be there?
Chinese premier didn't show. Putin didn't show.
Oh, like leaders. Okay, I'm not surprised Putin didn't show.
Hold on. The head of China was there. There was an incident in which where was it in the South African security wouldn't let his security pass through. It was like a big. You could see it in video. He's walking through a door and the South African security stopped the Chinese security from following. He was there.
Was there?
Xi Jinping was there.
And the only guy that wasn't there was Putin
dialed in.
Want to get arrested.
He dialed in, though. It says he dialed in.
Yeah.
He zoomed in.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
there's this picture. There's this picture of him, dude, sitting at a computer.
Right here it says Chinese Z unexpectedly skipped the business forum. So
he must not. That must be an element of it, Howie, that he didn't go to business, like the business forum part of the.
Go on. Sorry.
Just says expansion is no triumph for China. Everything I read on it, it was like it basically said that it basically wasn't what it was pumped up to be. That's the bottom line. I mean,
I found different. I'm interested in seeing what happens. What I do find interesting is that we're always being told that China is like the most powerful, and China is pulling shit. I mean, like, I understand a lot of my friends on the left talk about there's a lot of military industrial complex propaganda about China, and I would agree on that. But China is pulling some stuff, just like every country pulls some stuff, some more than others, obviously. But what I found very interesting, you'd brought this up a couple weeks ago, Howie, was that people are like, if India doesn't join this, this doesn't move forward, which says to me, India might be more powerful than people want to give India credit for.
Hell yeah, they are. Are you kidding me? They're the up and coming. China's scared shitless about India right now. India's up and coming, man. That's a technology tech company. And I mean, shit, there's a lot of them. And I mean, how many of these guys come to the United States, get 4-year degrees from MIT and Georgia Tech and go back? I mean,
it's very interesting because that's a great point too, because there's a big problem in this country with quotas, in particular, like Harvard and these really high end thing that they're saying they're not hiring all whites or Asians. But do you think they might get to a point where they stop hiring like foreigners or allowing foreigners in? Do you guys think that at all, John?
That's a law. That's a law that Trump put in 5-6 years ago. I can't remember the name of it, but being in the recruiting business, it was a fucking pain in the ass, because when I'm looking for a C++ Python dude and I find a beautiful guy named Hung Lo Ming or fucking or Abdul bin Muhammad.
Abdul. That's our new clips guy, actually.
That's our new clips guy, bro.
Yeah.
Well, when I find one of those guys and they have unbelievable references and they went to MIT or RPI or Caltech, Cal Berkeley, and I find these guys and I hook them up with the company and I'm like, let's go, baby, because they're starting you at 160 and I get a 5% cut of that. And there's this law, man, and off the top of my head, I can't remember, but basically it's a immigration law. And the law states, for the most part, that you can come here, you can get a 4-year degree, you can work like 1 year on some bullshit visa, but then you have to go back. And this is what happened. It was put in under the Trump administration, and I always felt, why are you doing this, man? Why are you letting that good talent go back to their countries? Fuck that. Give these motherfuckers a nice home, get them some pussy, bring them to a happy hour, get them drunk at fucking Applebee's, and they're never going to want to go back home.
Get them white bitches, man.
Yeah, keep them here. We got to keep these smart foreigners here, man. Don't let them go back home. Keep them here. Wrap them up in red, white, blue, man. Propaganda the shit out of them.
You know what I'm watching now on YouTube? Mathematic problems. I'm just watching people solve mathematics. It's my new thing. Breaking down division, long division. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to get back in the game.
I'm having a flashback right now teaching 5th grade.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm just but the only problem with these channels is that they try to extend the video so long so they can get the ad revenue.
Yeah.
That they just talk forever at the beginning. It's so boring.
But are you understanding what they're talking about?
Some of it.
But isn't it amazing?
I don't understand that shit.
Isn't it amazing as you get older? I will say this, Sam. When you watch shit like that or you learn different types of math, you're like, why didn't our teacher teach us that? That dude did it in 3 seconds.
When I watch most of it, I go, this does not apply anywhere in real life. I have not used this talent and problem skills in my life anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Nobody's ever had to do parentheses math. I've never had to do any
parentheses
of that.
math. Yeah. You're so right.
It's basically algebra and pre-calc.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing?
No, you're so right, dude. Like my favorite shit to watch is people building things, just like, hey, I built a shed in my yard and I just watched some guy build a shed for an hour.
That'll be my next thing. I've moved off of black people getting their haircuts and feet shavings. Okay. Now I'm into mathematical problems. It's so weird. And as you discover new things, your YouTube algorithm changes. So your old friends are no longer suggested to you. I no longer
Yeah.
get some of these people that I used to love to watch on YouTube. It is crazy how powerful the algorithm is.
Yeah.
100%.
Or what Johnny said. I mean, as far as building things, back in the day, you had to you had to work under a carpenter for a couple of years. You got to figure out, because framing is no joke. You fuck up framing and that building's coming down quickly. But now, shit, with new tools and stuff and like you can frame shit quickly, fast. If you have the tools, you have the get-go, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I had this speech with my two sons the other day. Both of them are in college.
Gecko from the insurance?
I'm one of the guys I'm one of the parents that begs their kids drop out of school. It's overrated. You don't need a degree. I'll still love you. But I told my old son, I go, have you heard UPS is hiring? 5 years, you can make 170 G. How's that? And he's like, nah, I don't know if I want to drive a big truck, Dad. I'm just like, fucking learn how to drive a truck, son, please.
Dude, I would do that. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's the world is changing, and this AI shit, it's really going to be interesting to see what it's going to apply to what now. I think it's going to have an impact on everything. But the bottom line that we were talking the other day, look, man, they're still going to need people to go out and mulch and landscape and cut lawns and fix plumbing problems. When your electrical shit goes nuts in your house and you almost have a fire, AI ain't helping that. You got to bring in somebody to put their boots on the ground and take care of it. So, man, I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see, where these new jobs are headed to. I think personally, a lot of these old manual labor jobs may come back.
I know they're 100. Dude, I'm thinking about this right now. I've been thinking a lot about this. I think you're going to see a giant shift from the digital to the physical very quickly. I think people are going to get over the internet in a lot of ways very quickly. That's my honest belief, dude.
I'm with you.
I think you're going to see this giant push to get back to it, dude. I'm telling you right now, dude. The future is that people are going to get over it. They're going to make everything so technical that people are just going to be like, you know what? I'm just over this. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. I don't care. I think that's what's happening.
And there's a lot of Gen Z kids. I listen to my youngest kid. I just listen to what he says, and most of it is the worst stuff I've ever heard in my life. It's just like, kid, what are you fucking? Are you out of your mind? Like my son telling me that every single NFL game is fixed right down to the score.
He gets it. Hey, listen, do you guys hear that? I feel like something is going right now. Do you hear anything?
I thought it was your TV, Sam.
No, it's not.
It could be that dude in the background with John.
My air conditioner is on. Is that what you mean?
No, I heard somebody talking.
Maybe it was like an echo from when you were talking.
Maybe.
Do you have your speakers up loud, Howie?
No.
All right, Johnny, what other stories you got?
Well, I mean, Howie, you mentioned this before we got on here, but the big news of the week probably was this Grayscale ETF, their victory over the SEC. They're going to be able to bring crypto-based ETFs to the market, and that had ripple effects throughout the crypto space. Coinbase stock popped, Bitcoin's up, Ether's up. Everybody that stands to gain from this is up, and crypto at large is up. It was a huge victory for the crypto space. Howie, I know you can talk about how that kind of affected the markets.
I mean, yeah, Coinbase was up 15%, and that stock was in the shitter, man. This was a deal where, if you'd bought it, nobody saw this coming. And I don't know if it's finite. I don't know if this is the end of it. But for now, they're allowing Grayscale to come up with their ETF. And so what that does, the reason that everything was up, that allows companies like BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, Vanguard, whatever. These companies can now go out and start their own Bitcoin ETFs. These are spot Bitcoin ETFs. Basically, they're just trading Bitcoin within these exchange traded funds. So obviously, if you look at the news, is it smart to buy Bitcoin? Fuck yeah. Because that just tells you that over the next 3 to 5 years, with these things in place, people will trade it. So you're going to have buying and selling. And what does that mean? It's probably going to go higher.
Hey, guys, I want to talk to you about our good friend James McMahon at Copy My Crypto. Guys, we've seen so many people make ridiculous money from crypto, but did you know it's easy for you to do the same? That's right. The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy them. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you simply do what he does. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each, it'd be well worth over $123,000.
Wow.
Of the 26 coins, his top pick coin called Phantom went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members at Copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners will get full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now.
Policy Genius knows how valuable your time is. That's why their technology makes it easier to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks.
Policy Genius has licensed and award-winning agents who can help you find the best fit for your needs.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's up to almost 28 now, I think.
Yeah, jump quickly.
Yeah, 27.7. It's up like 8% on the week.
80%?
8%.
Oh, I was like gonna go crazy.
No, man,
bro.
it's and the thing is, Johnny, let me ask you this. What do you think? I mean, you see that the SEC, first of all, the SEC, basically, I feel they didn't want these places to come to fruition because they just feel they don't have enough regulatory control, right? I mean, that's what
over the crypto space. Yeah,
they feel they don't have enough control over it. And the judge came out and said, at this point, the bottom line is it's a security. They're making it a security. You can buy it and sell it. So, and this is just Bitcoin.
What is the
They
definition?
were
of a
allowing
security?
futures of crypto, but not ETFs.
Not actually spot Bitcoin, which now you can actually buy these ETFs holding Bitcoin. Now,
What is the definition of a security?
shit, Johnny can look it up. I took it out of my Series 7 years ago, but basically it's I'm gonna say right off the bat without looking at it, it's a asset with NAV, net asset value, that you can probably buy, hold, or sell. That's probably what it's gonna say. Johnny can look it
hold
up.
on. It's giving me
Probably
ETF definitions. What are financial securities? A marketable security is any type of stock, bond, or other security. I hate it when they have a definition that includes the word in it, or other security that can be easily bought or sold on a public exchange. So shares in a company. It's any tradable financial asset, essentially.
It's a tradable financial asset. All right.
Yeah, and to become a tradable financial asset, they have to go through some major due diligence. They have to file.
And why would somebody want to be a security?
So that you can be traded. Like if you're a private company, you're up and coming and you're doing $50-100 million a year in sales and you're growing. You want to get on the exchange, baby. You want to get on that public exchange so that your actual company will be worth a hell of a lot more with people buying and selling it. So that's really the goal. That's why everybody wants to be a publicly traded company. That's where the money is.
You just give up unless you're a billionaire, which it would have some drawbacks in that case because you lose control of your company, depending on how much stock you sell in it, of course. But I mean that's like why you see like Elon taking things private again. But yeah, it's about money, right, Howie?
Yeah, it's really about cash, man. You want to be public because that you're legit. You're a legit company. You're on the exchange.
And like an ETF, like this Bitcoin ETF, they're just making. It's not really commission, is it? But they're making, what would you say, like management fees or whatever? What do you call that, Howie? That the people that actually run this ETF, custodial fees, or what do they call that?
Oh, yeah, there are all kinds of fees, service fees, management fees. Yeah, they're actually making bank off. You run an ETF, yeah, you're making probably 1% off of how much assets you bring in, and ETFs they're all in the billions.
Nice.
I mean, because it's a safer way to own. If you got an ETF and you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever, you got 10 different coins, and 3 of them go bankrupt, you're still okay. It's not. It's like when I said 2 years ago, buy OIH. Don't buy Exxon, don't buy Oxy, don't buy BP. Buy OIH because there's 10 of them. If 3 of them dump oil into the ocean and Greenpeace comes out and shoots the CEO and that stock drops, 7 are still good. You're not going to get killed. That's the advantage of it. Yeah.
This Forbes story that I was reading here, I guess we should have seen this coming, according to this Forbes story. Here's what they say. The SEC has received, quote, numerous proposals to list Bitcoin investment products on national exchanges, the ruling noted, and has denied them all. Yet in June, BlackRock applied to list a spot Bitcoin ETF of its own, which was taken as a sign that the world's largest asset manager had calculated that the SEC's opposition would likely be overcome. Later, Fidelity and other fund providers. So they all knew that they were going to get their ass kicked in court. Apparently.
When BlackRock steps up to the plate, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, that's why honestly the institutional not technically investments, but the institutional involvement in Bitcoin is why I feel so comfortable kind of still putting money in it, even though it's been, volatile.
But you have to understand something, Johnny, that they're going to rug pull that shit so they could buy more of it cheap. So you got to either got to figure out when to sell it right before they do it or hold on to it while they.
I think we're a long way off from its high though. And as long as you're doing it over a long time horizon, none of that stuff matters.
If you're dollar cost average, Sam, every month in 3 years, if it's at 3 years, you probably see it at 100,000. I mean, that's just look, when BlackRock gets involved, when you bring in Darth Vader and they got assets, they got people on the inside. I mean, the fucking look.
And it's hard to rug pull when you have it in an ETF, right? I mean, that's kind of That's kind of difficult to do, wouldn't it be?
Well, you can't do it in the ETF.
Yeah.
You can't. You can. No, hell no, because you got 9 other coins in there. So that's going to be tough. Sam, speaking of BlackRock, what do you think of BlackRock totally saying bye-bye to all the social shit? Not involved anymore.
One, I'll believe it when I see it.
I think it's happened now.
I'll believe it when I see it. And as we predicted on one of my other podcasts, some people might have heard of it, Tinfoil Hat. This has been the movement. They're going to move into, well, this is the other stuff, but this has all been foretold. And we'll see, dude. I really do believe, Howie, that, everyone's like, oh, they control everything, all this, all that. I do believe that we have, we're winning. The consciousness is winning. And so we'll see what happens, dude. All this shit you see, so I'm going to talk about this on Broken Sin this weekend, but I was watching movies on United and they were all woke. It's like unbelievable to me how woke everything is. Like you can't escape it. You can't enjoy a movie anymore without them trying to hammer on you this unrealistic view of the world. And it's just like, and now they're like, you can literally torpedo any project. If you just started a campaign saying, this is the most woke garbage I've ever seen. And it doesn't even have to be. Now the left is experiencing what the right had to experience forever. Like Vince Vaughn, right? Vince Vaughn was putting out great movies and all of the movie critics hated him because he's right-leaning, that they just bombarded every one of his movies. So you'd be like, you wouldn't go to the movie theater to see it, but you'd be on, like, let's say Delta, and they're like, dude, I just want to watch a movie. And you'll see Vince Vaughn's latest comedy. You're like, that was so freaking funny. But the way it was presented to me was garbage. So now the left is going to feel that. Like this dumb chick this chick from Snow White can't shut her mouth. Okay.
Stupid.
It just can't shut her mouth. Just can't shut it.
Snow White? What do you mean? She's in the movie?
She is the sister of a famous actress, and they gave her a role on Snow White, and the rumor is she's the reason why Gina Carano got fired. Like that's how, like nobody even knows this chick. They know her sister, and she had the power to get rid of Gina Carano, and now she's just torpedoing Snow White to the point that the director's now calling her a C word.
Wait, you heard that? Really?
Yeah.
I thought Snow White was a cartoon.
No, they're doing a live action now. And everybody is like, oh my God.
Where did you hear that about the director? I would love to see that.
I've been like, the streets, Johnny. The streets are talking, okay?
So that probably didn't happen, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it did happen.
Okay.
But so everyone's like, oh my God, she's like Latina. She's not even white. She's a Jap. She's a Jewish American princess. So she's perfect for the role of playing a princess. Okay. I mean, she's right in there. So please stop with that. And she just is the example of like, when you're given the world, you have no clue of reality. And that's what she's doing. She just won't shut up. They probably booked her because she won't show up. And there we are. That's life. So it's just, so I would love to see BlackRock and Vanguard get out of ESG. It would be great to see.
They are now. I think they are now.
We'll see, dude. We'll see, dude.
You can't look when what, and I'm so tired of people say that there's so many uneducated. When I say not even ignorant, uneducated. Look, I saw this dude on Rogan the other day, and the guy was like, Vanguard, they own 50% of, and he named all these companies, and I'm like, time out. Someone needs to stop you right now. They don't own it.
Oh, please don't do. We've already been through this, Howie, with 1 million people. Okay.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that. They
Right.
don't own it. You and I own it. Vanguard's a fucking index fund.
Right. What you don't understand is that they can control them by saying you could either be in our index funds or not. This has already been debated on the internet. It's not an argument to make. because everyone knows it. I mean, I could show you a million videos of Larry Fink saying we're going to force.
Larry Fink has nothing to do with Vanguard. That's a different company.
How many co-hosts do I have to go through this with?
No, but I'm saying the fact. I'm saying the fact. Vanguard is an index fund.
All right.
There's 500 companies in the S&P.
Okay.
I'm saying the fact.
I get it. We're gonna move on because this has already been debated.
Howie is right about what he said, though.
No, I know what Howie's saying is technically correct.
And you just said about you're just talking about BlackRock, though, which is Larry Fink.
I'm not talking about BlackRock. I'm talking about Vanguard.
Okay,
BlackRock is not BlackRock. Trust me, I don't like BlackRock.
Right,
That's a fucking different entity run by Larry Fink.
But there's a reason why when you look at the largest shareholders, whatever you want to call it, of every major corporation, there are two people there. There are two corporations, businesses there. BlackRock, Vanguard. And then State Street's there for most of them. So
but State Street and Vanguard, there's a reason they're there, Sam. And I'll tell you why. Because Vanguard came up with a genius idea to help out the lower class 30 years ago.
I get it, buddy. I get it.
I mean,
it does. I get it. I get it.
They picked up. It's called the Vanguard, the most popular fund in the world with probably trillions of dollars in it is the Vanguard 500. And basically, all they do, they don't do research. They look at the top 500 S&P stocks, the top with the lowest PEs, the highest amount of growth, and they go right down there. And they say, okay, let's put them all in the index fund and let's charge hardly any fees so that guys like you and I can afford it. That's what they did. I'm not comparing them to BlackRock. That's like night and day. When you got Morgan, see, I don't know why you guys don't talk more about Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, because those fuckers are right there with BlackRock, man. They're doing all kinds of shady shit.
Who? Goldman Sachs. That's a great point that nobody talks about Goldman Sachs at all.
Morgan Stanley, same thing.
You're totally right.
And I will say that the guy who's the CEO for Vanguard too, Buckley or whatever, he's not nearly as political as Fink. I mean, in fact, I remember him saying in the past, kind of poo-pooing ESG, calling it like a, sort of a client.
No, they don't care about that. Vanguard doesn't give a shit about that.
I understand that, Howie. I'm just going to tell you something. Whatever it is, and I don't know what it is because you're not the only person to express this thought. But whatever it is influencing the behaviors of boardrooms and casting and creation of entertainment. None of this stuff is real. Okay. None of this is a natural movement. It's astroturfed. Okay. And the reason they're doing the astroturfing is so they can get into these portfolios of these three different fucking companies, portfolios, management, whatever you want to call it. You know the technical terms. Whatever.
Yeah, but there's no way that Disney's not going to be listed in Vanguard. There's just no way.
That's why Disney's doing it. That's why they're running it into the ground. And
I think you're looking too small, Sam. I think there's way bigger reasons why that's happening.
And what would that be, Johnny?
Well, I mean, to influence the culture. That's
right,
it.
But
I'm talking about just pure, nothing to do with profit or making money or being listed on any ETF. Like none of that. I think it's all.
So they're going to.
If Disney was in that business, they would not have hired Bob Iger. Trust me on that.
And here's Tim Buckley, by the way, from the Vanguard Group chairman, the guy I was just talking about. He says that ESG funds are not the next great innovation. They're a client preference, and we need to treat them as such. So he's not even publicly.
Okay. All right.
Vanguard's
agree to
not
disagree.
in that mix. Trust me.
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Well, what's your evidence of that?
What's my evidence of what?
Yeah, of the Vanguard thing.
Well, I mean, like, it's easy. If I think Vanguard is all the oligarchies. That's what I believe. And it's based on the fact that they don't have to announce who their biggest shareholders are, And I think
but you're saying that, but I mean, it would just be so easy for somebody.
By law, they have to show.
Go look it up.
Shareholders. By law, they do.
But what you're saying, somebody could easily just take positions in companies without being, using an ETF. It would be way easier to target certain sectors rather than buying
listen, all I know is that people
which
are making
which Vanguard ETF do you want me to look up?
Decisions that aren't good for business. And the reason they do that is so that they get a high enough ESG score. That's my opinion. Now,
Vanguard's never done that.
Some places too big to fail. Okay. Possibly Disney could be that. And we're finding out, are they too big to fail? Because they are desperate right now to keep their marketplace. They're trying to make deals with these leagues that would be dumb for these leagues to do it, in my humble opinion.
But that's just a small part of Disney. That's ESPN. They want to sell ESPN.
I'm with you on that, but their parks, their movies aren't doing well, man.
But if if they don't do well, then they won't be in the 500, and then they won't be in the Vanguard ETF. It's all just about being one of the 500 biggest companies.
Right. But what is happening?
But Sam, my thing is on Vanguard
are doing things which, based on marketplace, they already know won't go well. They already know it, and they're still doing it. So there has to be something other than profit from sales that is motivating them.
No, that's my whole way. You're arguing what I said. I said it's definitely not profit motive that's motivating them. I'm saying they're doing it just from their motivation is exactly nothing to do with anything related to money. I think they're doing it just to influence the culture.
Yeah,
and that's why Vanguard has no relevance. What you just said is why Vanguard doesn't matter.
So, Johnny, we can get into Marxism and all that shit. That's a different show. But I think they do this to be in the good graces.
Marxism is right up the alley of this show, actually.
Listen, Sam, this is what you gotta somehow wrap your head around this. We're not talking about Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock. These were all privately started companies, which they bought other companies, they merged. They could have some sort of initiative that we don't know about. That's possible. You know who can't? Is Vanguard. Because they don't buy and sell shit based on ESG scores.
Well, okay.
So they do it by math. They do it by all math. It's mathematical. All math. They look at PEs and they look at earnings per share. And if a company is good enough to get in that S&P 500, you know what? They bring it into their index fund, which I'm going to say this, Johnny, you can look it up. I think the Vanguard S&P index is the largest mutual fund of all time. I think it is. And the reason I'm saying that is because the middle class is fairly big in the United States. And if you go to, I don't care if you're a policeman.
6.6 trillion, Howie. You're right.
Yeah.
And BlackRock, 14 trillion, right?
No, their whole company's worth 14 trillion. This is just one fund that Vanguard has.
Yeah. BlackRock is number 8 at 690 billion. The biggest funds are Vanguard 6.6 trillion, iShares 2.9 trillion, Fidelity, American Funds, State Street, Invesco, JP, BlackRock, T. Rowe Price still in there, and Franklin Templeton.
Great small cap company. But you see, Sam, Vanguard's number one by far. And the only reason they're number one is because they market to the little guy. Because you and I can go buy a Vanguard fund and pay hardly anything. Now, if we buy a BlackRock fund or a Morgan Stanley fund or a Goldman Sachs fund, shit, we're going to pay an extra 1.5%, 2%, which on 500, if I'm a cop or a teacher, in over 30 years, I got $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. The difference in 0.5% a year and 2% a year.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is interesting. I'll just read this. Vanguard has a fairly unique structure for an investment management company. The company is owned by its funds. The funds are owned by the shareholders. Thus, the shareholders are the actual owners. In contrast to most publicly owned investment firms, Vanguard has no outside investors other than its shareholders. Vanguard's structure allows the company to charge very low expenses for its funds. Due to its scope, the company has been able to reduce its expenses over the years. The average expense ratio for Vanguard's funds was down to 0.89% in 1975, and it stands now at 0.09% in 2022. So it's gone way down since 75. Some experts believe Vanguard structure allows it to avoid conflicts of interest present at other investment management firms. Publicly traded investment management firms must cater to their shareholders and the investor and the investors in their funds. But because of its structure, it doesn't have to worry about that. So,
and I think that's important for whoever's listening to this show. That's so damn important, because I'll have people and they'll have a 401k with a company. And if you work for a company, like, I don't give a shit if it's Walmart, UPS, or if you're a teacher or a policeman or fireman with a 403b, they'll give you a list of funds to choose from. And I always have people say, Howie, it looks like this American funds is a lot more expensive than the Vanguard. It is. I mean, if you're, and I always tell people on this show, if you're a dude out there working 8-12 hours a day, you don't have time to trade. You're 33 years old. You're working overtime. You're working 50 hours a week, and you just want to put money into something that's not that expensive but has good companies. You buy the Vanguard 500. People ask anybody 30 years ago how wealthy they are if they put money into that thing 30 years ago. That thing's averaged probably 9-10% a year for 30 years.
Now, Sam, what you were talking about was assets under management. BlackRock does have the most assets under management at $9.5 trillion.
But that counts real estate, private
second.
Yeah. So they're two different animals, man. Not even in the same boat.
With the busy fall season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. And if you're too busy with your end-of-summer goals to cook, but still want to make sure you're eating well, with Factor, you can skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your goals. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 plus weekly flavor-packed, dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Are you looking for calorie-conscious options ahead of the busy season? Try delicious, dietitian-approved, again, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. And if you need an extra boost to support your wellness goals and feel your best for the rest of summer, try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. Here's another thing that's pretty cool. You can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items like their delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato, bacon, and egg breakfast skillets. Or for an easy wellness boost, try refreshing beverage options like cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. This August, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Again, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess.
So here's what we need you to do. Head to factormeals.com/cash50 and use the code cash50 to get 50% off. That's code cash50 at factormeals.com/cash50 to get 50% out. Grub and love. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I understand. There is an influence on the culture, and it's through money and the opportunity to get in with investors. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
BlackRock, if you're telling me that Vanguard isn't, they just when people look up all these companies, they see Vanguard there all the time.
Right, but but Sam, the point is Vanguard is investing in the top 500 companies. How would they don't you know what I'm saying? It's like whatever the top 500 is, that's what basically they're invested in.
They don't know. They don't research. When they have Anheuser-Busch, it's because it's a top 500 company.
Right. And if it's out of the top 500, they're not going to be like, unless you hire Dylan Mulvaney.
Well, all I know is that this company has had influence across the board. And I'm not going to argue with you guys on this shit. Okay? Because it sounds dumb. I'm sorry, guys. You want me getting some technical shit? I can't. I'm not that guy. I just know what I see. And what I see is this guy who's over and over again said he's going to influence behavior.
Who are you talking
like,
about now, though?
Yeah,
I'm
who are you
talking about Larry Flink.
Yeah, but he
Flink.
doesn't have anything to do with Vanguard.
I understand that. I've conceded to you that Vanguard may not be that, but all I know
about
is that
BlackRock,
Vanguard's is
I'm not
right
disagreeing
there
with you on BlackRock.
everything.
I don't like Larry Fink. I think he's
Okay.
a jerk.
Right, but
That's
we've told you
I
why
can't
they
argue
show
with
up
you guys.
owning
I'm
everything.
not
Sam.
smart. I flunked first grade. I'm just telling you that
Right,
there's a
but
lot of
you
people
just-
out there that see Vanguard's name everywhere and wonder what that does.
We
When
just told
own-
you, though.
When you own 8 to 12% of every single major company, that is a lot of power.
You're saying you own, but really it's people like us that own those
Yeah,
shares.
But
Vanguard doesn't own shit. Vanguard doesn't own
Vanguard
shit.
can control where the money flows.
No, they can't.
Because
All right. And
they
we agree, disagree.
do you
guys
not
are
understand what
technically
we're
smarter
saying,
than I.
though? That
I do
they
understand
have
what
no
you're
control
saying.
over the top 500 companies. Whatever the top 500 companies are, those are what they invest in.
I understand that.
So how are they what are they controlling where the money flows?
Well, okay, fine. If you want to sit there and say, all I know is that they are right there with the company that is forcing behaviors. Okay. And if you're telling me that they're skipping with the devil, but they're not doing anything with them, I find that hard to believe based on my 50 years of experience of living life. I'm just telling you that. So I guess you could say they tiptoe through the tulips and they're just little angels and they're with
there's no they
BlackRock.
is what we're saying. There's just no they with Vanguard.
I understand what you're saying. I understand it, Johnny. You've said it over and over again. I understand what you're saying. But whatever that entity is, you can't. I'm sorry.
That entity
and you
is
don't know
how
because
would
they don't.
how would it exert influence?
Okay,
though?
this
Explain
is
that.
what if this? They can insert power through BlackRock by being hand in hand with BlackRock, and then be like, we're not doing anything. It's not our way of operating because we don't own anything. But they're listed everywhere, so they do have influence, whether you guys want to admit it or not. Okay, they do have influence, and they can influence through BlackRock.
no.
Because
Impossible.
BlackRock and Vanguard have the fucking together a block of, let's say,
Right, but
24%.
Vanguard would be irrelevant to that because it's only based on the the index.
Based on mathematical equations, Sam. Mathematical
I'll sit here and
equations.
take an L. I don't care. I just know my life. I feel, and I have enough experience to know that the company that's listed as one of the largest shareholders, whatever it is, in a company has power. I just know that. And whether they're doing it through them or somebody else, there is power. And that power
but you might as well say the
used.
NASDAQ has power, or
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
NASDAQ
Like,
can have
market has power.
too. The NASDAQ
right, because
can
all
have
their
power
shares
too.
are listed on the NASDAQ, so they have 100% of their shares
It's okay.
listed.
Okay. Yep. Go. I get it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
there's a reason why everyone's listing these motherfuckers. Do whatever you
Oh.
want. I said I'll take the L on this. I have no
it's
problem.
not even
doing
an L. No,
you give me an L. Give me an L. I don't care.
You're,
Not an
taking,
L.
you're
Not an
taking
L.
the L without, but saying that you're not wrong.
No,
You're
I
saying
said, I'll take
you're
an
right,
L,
but I'm still right.
I do believe you're wrong.
So that's not
Look,
taking the L.
bottom line
I
is,
am. I'm taking
I'm
the
trying
L.
to- I'm
so
trying
we
to
can
come up
move
with an
on.
analogy that somehow you would understand this. It's kind of like
It's over.
it's like, I don't know, if you gave somebody $500 million and you said, all right, here's the deal. You got 7 different housing developments you can buy. These 3, you can only move into these 3 if you're gay, if you're transitioning, if you're whatever. But you gotta be one of those to move into those 3. These 4, you can move in if you're anyone. But these 3, but here's the deal: it's going to cost $500 million for the whole thing, and this fucker is going to yield 18% a year for the next 20 years.
Yeah,
and Vanguard's not even going to look at the background. They're going to look at the yield and this company's going in the S&P 500. They're being added. So let's take $3 billion and put it into this particular fund. In other words, they don't look at anything. It's all done calculated math.
I understand what you're saying. So can we move on? I understand it. You guys won. Yay. Let's move on.
It's not a win. I just want the normal Joe to understand that
you won.
The reason it's so cheap, it's for us. They started for the little guy.
All right, perfect. Next thing. Anything else before we go to the Patreon?
Oh, there's so much else.
Yeah, shit. Tesla and Nvidia just went through the roof, and I think those things are going to pop back. The market's headed up right now. We may have another 2-3% before we head back down. But yeah, we crushed. Jesus Christ, man, we crushed the Patreons. Crushed Morgan Stanley. We bought the shit out of it last, I think, Thursday. Everybody sold today. 25 to 50%, depending on when you got in. So that's the key. You want to buy things when they're beaten up, when there's negative energy, negative sentiment, good stocks, and they always bounce back. They bounce back. So that was huge. Here's another big one. The hurricane. We got a hurricane hitting Florida. Could decimate the whole state.
Unbelievable, bro. Really?
Yeah. This Idalia is coming in hard. Tropical.
I'm glad we're back to chick names, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hurricane Tom, get out of here.
So, Sam, you got a hurricane coming in. What do you buy? What stocks do you buy short term?
Construction.
Fucking A. Home Depot, it's not a joke. It's gone in the last 2 days from 323 to 329 lows. Anything with construction, hell yeah, that's what you buy. Because, the hope is that the hurricane hits Florida is a category 5 and destroys 90% of the city. And then
it's going over my family's house, you bastard.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's gonna be fine.
Hey.
By the time it gets to North Carolina, it's just gonna be rain. But
Johnny's family's got insurance. Just get down low for 24 hours. You rebuild that whole motherfucker with insurance. What stocks do you short? You short Chubb. You short every insurance. Every insurance company out there. You short it because they're gonna have problems after this hurricane if it hits nicely.
The problem is in North Carolina, all the flood insurance is issued by the government, of course, and it's just the taxpayers that take a bath whenever there's shit down at the coast that goes bad.
But the tornadoes and stuff that's by Allstate, State Farm, all those.
Yeah. It's just, the government flood insurance. So it's just such a racket is my point there. It was because so many people live in places that could not get private insurance. They could not possibly afford it. That's why you see all these houses lined up right on the Outer Banks is because of federal flood insurance. And it's such fucking bullshit.
That is garbage. Absolutely. That's
it fucks the tax rate so much.
Anybody that doesn't believe, I love people that are like, we got to vote this way because we don't want our country turned into socialism. How is this not country, not fucking socialist right now?
It is. It is.
We have the most socialist country. Look at fucking health insurance. Look at, ride the train, ride the Amtrak. Who owns that? Come on.
Yeah. And that's why it sucks. Amtrak is garbage. We have one of the worst rail systems in the world for that exact reason. Can I talk real quick about, the kind of war to get people to actually go into their offices is still raging at Amazon. Their CEO, Andy Jassy, had a meeting. They call them fishbowl meetings. It's basically where they get everybody together in the company. And I'm just going to quote him here. He goes, it's past time to disagree and commit. If you can't disagree and commit, I understand that, but it's probably not going to work out for you at Amazon because we are going back to the office at least 3 days a week. And it's not right for all of our teammates to be in 3 days a week and for people to refuse to do so. So the companies, at least, are trying to get people to go back to work and not pretending COVID is still happening. And you saw the same thing is happening at other companies too. I think it was like Microsoft too, although they're having this thing where this leaked memo got out saying that they're not allowed, the managers aren't allowed to use budget cuts, which they're having as an excuse for not giving pay raises this year. They're supposed to, quote, reinforce that every year offers a unique opportunity for impact. So I thought that was funny.
That's insane. Budget cuts with with bonuses?
No,
That's
they're
insane.
not giving bonuses, and they're trying, but they're not supposed to mention the budget cuts in the excuse for not giving bonuses. But yeah, all these companies are at war with their employees, trying to get them to go back to work. It's so hard once people have gotten a taste of life at home to get them to go back to work. Apparently,
Yeah,
a lot of people moved.
Wasn't he like, if you can't come in and work 4 days a week, maybe you're not for Amazon?
3 days a week, dude.
Yeah, that's what he said. Hey,
Crazy.
I'm going to finish with one final thing. This is for Sam because, look, man, every now and then I see a weird thing that could be a conspiracy. I see a couple things come together, and I saw something weird today. And
throw him a bone, Howie. I appreciate this. He needs
Shut up, Johnny. I don't need a bone thrown. I got tons of bones. Don't worry about me. Daddy, I'm a bone collector. Fuck.
Sam's gotten plenty. Sam gets boned all the time.
This is what I want Sam's input because, you know, he's got that fucking mind for the weird shit. And so we got Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 7% today. All right. Grayscale picks, or basically today's the day where everything comes out and they're like, you know what? They're going to start pumping these ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco. They're going to start buying these ETFs so everybody can own Bitcoin now. Everybody gets in it. What's it do? It pumps it up. Now, today marks the lowest day in 4 years. Today, the lowest day in 4 years for volatility trading in Bitcoin. In other words, over the last 4 years, trading in Bitcoin has just dropped. Volatility, volume. In other words, 4 years ago, everybody was buying and selling. 3 years ago, a little less. 2 years ago, less. Today marked the lowest day in 4 years for volume trading. And Bitcoin was in big trouble today.
What's that sound?
I don't hear anything.
That's you, Sam.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not
I don't
me.
hear anything.
It was weird. Yeah, it sounded like a radio station.
It's not me, dude.
Not me either. So, Sam,
That's really
ask,
weird, dude. That's probably
Let me
the
ask-
Chinese listening to us.
it sounded like it.
Holy
Sam,
shit,
what do you
that
think?
was so weird.
Damn it, that to me is a fucking coincidence. The lowest volume in 4 years, Bitcoin was on its way down and out. There's no trading. Nobody's trading it. So all of a sudden now these big boys are stepping in saying, we want to trade it. Let's get this thing back up and pumping.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude, market manipulation everywhere all the time.
As a little dude following this, I hate to say it, but man, fucking that's my pick of the week. You got to buy Bitcoin.
Damn, bro.
You got all this weird shit. I looked at everything. I read so much about this last night, and I'm like, this is not a coincidence. Look, this almost sounds like somebody. It wouldn't surprise me if Larry Fink's best friends with the guy that started Bitcoin. They probably are buddies. Larry's probably bought him a couple condos. And they're best pals. And yeah, I think it's weird, man. I think it's weird that of all the days that they hit the lowest in 4 years in volume, today's the day that the SEC loses, and now everybody's going to be buying and selling that shit. You got to buy Bitcoin.
I like that. I like hearing that. I got
like
a lot of
the
Bitcoin.
sound of it. It's been a while, bro. Been a while.
I'd say up your allocation, baby. 10%. Make sure 10% Bitcoin's in your portfolio.
Guys, I'm gonna be
I'm
gonna be in Pennsylvania at the end of September. More dates coming. Working hard. Join me. I will see you guys soon. Anything else, Howie?
No, man. Great week. We're crushing on the Patreon. We got unbelievable energy. Fucking, you got to pop over, join that bitch, and we're gonna roll this week. Believe me.
Anything, Johnny?
No, that's all from me, bro.
All right, guys. I love you guys. Go to samtripoli.com for all your Sam Tripoli needs. And also check out my live dates and affiliates. We will see you soon. Come join us over at the Patreon, patreon.com/Cash Daddy. Come get where? Cash Daddies. Come get where?